Hello, welcome to Dungeons Waters Podcast. I'm your host Justin. Today we're reviewing the first two Friday the 13th movies. If you saw my recent Blu-ray haul, um, you know I picked up the 8 movie collection for Friday the 13th for like really fucking cheap. It was like I paid like $11 or something. And yeah, it's one Friday the 13th is one of those franchises where I would kind of catch them on TV when I was a kid because Spike TV would marathon them like every time there was every Friday the 13th, every Halloween they would marathon those movies. And the Friday 13th movies are obviously inspired by Halloween, which Halloween itself was inspired by Black Christmas, but hardly anybody fucking talks about that except for Black Christmas fans, which I'll probably review both the original and the remake for Christmas month when it becomes December. Um, yeah, so like Friday the 13th is one of those horror movie franchise where it's either you love it or you hate it. It was bashed by the critics when it came out, but like movie fans tend to like it, obviously, because they made like a shitload movie. It like the first one had like a 500, what was it, a 550,000 budget, and it made like almost 60 million. So it's like it made like almost like like 25 times its budget back or whatever. I'm not good at math. Yeah, like Cisco Ebert hated these movies, by the way. So if you're a Cisco Ebert fan, just so you know. Yeah, the first movie is directed by Cunningham, and it came out in 1980. Which if you watch the movie, it looks very 70s. But whenever like there a new decade starts, like there's always that transition between fashion. So it's like it's very normal to see like movies that are like at the start of a decade where people are still wearing the fashion of the last decade. It takes a while. Yeah, so the movie stars Adrienne King as Alice, Harry Crosby as Bill, Laurie Bertram as Brenda, Mark Nelson as Ned. Wasn't it Rubenstein? I can't remember. And you got Kevin Bacon as Jack. And who played? Sorry, Peter Brawler as Steve Christie. And you got Betsy Palmer as Miss Voorhees, who doesn't show up till like the end of the movie. I'll try not to spoil this movie too much for people who haven't seen it, the original. I think I saw this movie a long time ago. It's one of Kevin Bacon's first major roles, besides from Animal House, which if you don't watch Animal House, that's a great movie. The story for this one is there's like a camp called Camp Crystal Lake, which is nicknamed Camp Blood because in the beginning of the movie there's a flashback to the 50s where you see like 2 people get killed, 2 camp counselors, and like since then the place has been considered cursed. It jumps like 20 years later, by the way, or like 20 and a half years later, and like the place is considered cursed. Like the locals try to warn off people from going near that place. There's even this crazy guy, I forget his name. Was it Ronnie or some shit? He was in the second movie too. Crazy Ralph, that was his name. Who's in the first 2 movies as played by Walt Gorney. Yeah. The owner of the place is fixing it up and is planning in a week to reopen it, right? And the place is considered cursed because kid got drowned there, Jason Voorhees, and 2 camp counselors died, and then they said in the 60s they tried to reopen it up again, but then there was the water was poisoned or some fucking shit. So people try to reopen it up. You have the camp counselors clean the place up, drinking, having fun, banging and shit, and what happens, they get killed one by one. You have like what's his name, Tom Savini, who did the special effects. Was it Tom Savini? Oh my god, let me just look this up. I think it is Tom Savini. Yeah, Tom Savini did the special effects, which, if you don't know who Tom Savini is, he's also an actor, but he was in Vietnam as like a photographer, a war journalist photographer, and he took pictures of like fucked up shit and used that as a reference for his special makeup effects, which I thought the special makeup effects in this movie, though I'm sure they looked fine back in the day on film and like on grainy VHS tapes, but watching it on Blu-ray and on like 1080p or whatever, like you can tell that it looks super fake. It's super rubbery, especially during Kevin Bacon's death. Yeah, and also this movie, they kill like. There's like a snake in a girl's room. She gets one of the guys, Bill, to show up, and he shows up with a machete, and he kills the snake, and you can tell the snake is like a real snake. And I rewind it like several times. You can see the snake after it gets like chopped up, that it tries to breathe like 2 or 3 times before it, that they take the camera off it. So it's like they obviously killed like a real snake in this movie, which I'm not a huge fan of that, especially since I know people who are pet who love snakes, who have pet snakes, which I find snakes kind of creepy, obviously, but like there are people who love snakes. So if you're a pet snake guy and you don't want to see a snake get killed in the movie, which horror movies back in the day, they would have no problem like killing live animals, right? Especially in Italian horror movies, which I'm sure I've had people tell me, like, I'll see like an animal die and people will call it, tell me no, the director said they used a fake animatronic or whatever. It's like bullshit. I can tell the difference, buddy. Like, but I don't know. I could 100% wrong. Maybe they had an animatronic snake that they killed. It just happened. But whatever. It totally looks like a real snake. Yeah. So it is part horror mystery, but the mystery part doesn't show up, like, doesn't kick in till the end of the movie, where, spoiler alert, it's revealed that the Miss Voorhees is the one killing people in the movie, which, like, it's like, dude, like, could we have not, if you hadn't seen these movies before, could they not have, like, had her, like, in certain parts of the movie to, like, to, like, point out that maybe she's a suspect? Because before that, it kind of looked like it was Steve Christy that was killing people until, like, he got stuck in town, and then it was obvious that, it wasn't him. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I thought some of the deaths did look cool, and, like, some of the characters were cool. Their interactions. Though I thought the comedic actor in this movie, like Ned, was a bit annoying, to be honest. I don't know. And, like, in the sequel, they have another Ted character. Sorry, not Ned. Ted, played by Steve Carell, who's, like, a lot better at his comedic role, and who's actually survives the end of the movie. Which I saw Steve Carell, and I'm like, who the fuck? Where have I seen that guy before? And he's like, oh, he was in, like, an episode of X-Files. We played this psychic killer who went around killing fake psychics and shit. Because he was sick of, like, fake, I don't know, he just didn't like fake psychics. Yeah. Okay, you know what, I'm probably gonna do I'm gonna review the second movie in a different take, cause like we're at 10 minutes and I can only upload 15-minute videos for whatever the fuck reason. But yeah, would I recommend this movie? It's like, yeah, if I would say it was a fun movie to watch, but at the same time, it wasn't. It's not a high IQ movie. It's not like something like you're gonna watch and be like, oh, like it's very plot provoking movie. But no, it isn't really. Though I did find like I did find the character's motivation, sorry, the villain's motivation to be, interesting. She the people she thinks that it was the camp counselor's fault for her son drowning, and she wants to keep that place closed. It's implied she wants to keep the place closed because the camp counts the people who run that fucking camp can't be fucking trusted because it was a family that owned the camp that was running it, right? That they can't be trusted, and that more kids would be in danger, right? Though in the sequels, I guess that is that plot point is taken away because there's a point where uh, Jason leaves the town and is still going around killing teenagers. But yeah, so I don't know if I were to give this movie a rating. It's the thing where it's like, because it doesn't have Jason in it, this movie's considered one of the worst ones. But I don't know, I thought it was a good movie. People forget that technically anything higher than a 6 is a good rating. So I'm giving this a 6 out of 10. I'm saying that because I got a dislike on my Halloween my latest Halloween review where I gave it a 6.5, and it's like that's technically a good, a 6.5 is technically a good movie. It's just I didn't really like it that much, but whatever. Whatever. I would say the movie's worth watching at least once. But apparently, if you don't give a shit about watching all the Friday the 13th movies, apparently the only really good ones are from what I heard, I could be wrong, is the 4th one and then the 6th one, apparently. Yeah, but and though I did find Jason X to be kind of funny, and Freddy vs. Jason, which this only comes with the first 8 Friday the 13th movies. It doesn't have Jason X or Freddy vs. Jason, which I need to fucking pick that up. I thought I fucking had it. Apparently I don't. All right, peace.